Come dive Catalina Island with us. If you're new here, hi, I'm Gabs and I'm a scuba diver diving the California coast. Just a 1-hour boat ride from the mainland of California and you dock up at one of the best diving locations in the world, Casino Point Dive Park. No matter how many times I've been here, it's still just as exciting as the first. It was pretty windy this morning, but we were stoked nonetheless. This is one of the easiest shore diving entries in California. Just a few steps and you drop into a marine conservation area. This means that there's no take allowed of any kind. It's a small marine protected area at only 0.01 square miles, but the biodiversity here is off the charts. We dove out to one of the wrecks at 65 feet to start our first dive. Surface temperature was 68 degrees, bottom temp was 61. Man oh man, that thermocline felt extra cold today. A thermocline is a layer of water that has a distinct change in temperature, typically separating the warm surface water from the colder water down below. Visibility was fabulous at about 30 to 40 feet. With the 5-foot visibility we've been having all year on the coast, this was a treat. I turned around and saw that school of fish underneath the kelp, and it was my favorite sight from that dive. First dive was just wrapping up, so we made our way back to the float and made our safety stop. That curious Garibaldi hung out with us for most of it. And after hydrating and fueling our bodies during our surface interval, we headed out.
Dive number 2. Woo!
As the tide gets lower, the stairs become more exposed and it can get pretty slippery at the bottom few steps, so that's just something to keep in mind. I feel like typically visibility gets worse throughout the day, but on this second dive, it felt like it improved. Maybe because the sun was out, maybe because I was stoked to get back in the water, who knows. The surge had definitely picked up quite a bit from the first dive, so we kept that in mind while exploring. I could look at that view forever. The sun, the kelp, the water, just stunning. So as one does on a dive, I decided to have a little fun. I grabbed a piece of kelp floating in the water and tried to jump rope with it. Keyword, tried. It's way harder when your feet are triple the length. After using more air than I'd like to admit from laughing so hard, we carried on. I find it pretty common to only be looking down or ahead as a diver, but if you can remind yourself to look up every once in a while, that's when I find the most beautiful views. We had actually found a stingray out here at about 70 feet, which is super neat because I don't actually think I've ever seen a stingray at Catalina Island. But as we started heading shallower, we came up on the best surprise of all, a giant black sea bass. It's a critically endangered species since 1996 due to the mass overfishing in the 20th century. It's been noted that there's only around 500 breeding individuals left, so it's even more special to be able to see one. That one didn't really want to hang out around us for too long, so we moved to shallower water. I hung around in the shallows for the remainder of my dive to look under all the ledges and into crevices. And you can find California spiny lobster, purple sea urchin, moray eels, octopus, and more. You just have to be patient. And bring a light, of course, because you can see a lot more. By midday, the surge was pretty strong, so I ended my dive in my favorite place, watching the sunlight through the kelp, did my safety stop, and we called it a day. That's it for today's dives, and with that, I will see you guys on the next one. Happy diving!